Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, an official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. We're very happy now to be joined by the mayor of Cleveland, Andre Szmyt. And Andre, first of all, congratulations. What an unbelievable moment. What was that like for you?
It was pretty incredible. I mean, not having a kick up until the fourth quarter, not really feeling very involved in the game, aside from that kickoff to start the half. But couple quick field goals or field goal and an extra point, and then have that last kick at the end of the game feels pretty good.
Yeah, for 57 minutes, you were doing what the rest of us were doing, basically. You're watching the game.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to stay calm and just wait for when my number is called.
What's kind of your process in that regard?
Yeah, just
like, do you kick a kid, make sure you're kicking a few into the net, you know?
I try to stay warm, like when we're on offense, kick a couple, not try to overdo it, though, because it's very easy to get into the fourth quarter and then your leg's tired from hitting so many balls into the net in halftime and pregame. Sure. So just kind of like a little bit disassociating when we're on defense, kind of taking a mental break and then locking back in once we're on offense, getting into the net, being ready around the net, in case we break for a long touchdown and I need to hit an extra point or whatnot. But, yeah, that's just keep my process the same throughout the game and.
All right. So you go out there. You know that the last time you had kicked in the stadium, it was not what you had wanted. I don't know what you read, what you listen to, all of that. Earlier in the week, you have a calf injury. So everybody's like, now we don't even know what's going on. Okay, just take me through. We're there, ball spiked. Here you go, an opportunity for redemption, glory, all of it.
Yeah, I think as soon as we got the blocked field goal, I had a good idea. Like, hey, there's not much time left on the clock. Like, if Greg didn't scoop and score, I have a feeling that we're going to go down and hit a field goal. So I'm just preparing, looking at the distance, how far we might be hitting from. I think it was like 60-something at first, and we got that short pass to David.
And you had hit in warm-ups, I saw at least 58 in that direction.
In that direction, yeah, 58. That was a little bit into the wind. Okay. Going the other way, I hit from 60. Okay. But after the rain came through, it kind of like died down a little bit. It was pretty calm, so sun came out.
Yeah,
it was like
beautiful.
A perfect storm, yeah.
So I asked you this in the locker room afterwards. I said, did you know the second you hit it? You can tell, at least you knew you hit good contact, right? Yeah. So you knew you hit good contact. What kind of just take me through, you hit it, you look up, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, I looked up, and you can kind of tell from watching the film too, it kind of had a little bit of a draw to it. Yeah. But the wind was slightly going left to right that way, so I knew I could kind of play it a little bit more left, and then knowing the wind was kind of going to help it back. But as soon as I saw it go through, I knew I had the distance. As soon as I saw it go through, I looked at Corey, and he's like excited as all can be, like looking at me, and I'm excited. It was just good to celebrate the moment with the guys.
So you make it, and it looked to me like that would have been good from 65. I mean, that was
it was a good strike.
It was a very good strike. So have you seen the NFL films of Miles being mic'd up?
Yeah, I have briefly.
So he's like, this is your moment. Come on, Dre. Boom, you do it. The next thing I know, I'm watching, from the booth, Greg and I think it was Rex grab you and whisk you down to the dog pound. You're up in the stands. Like, did you black out, or do you actually remember these moments? Because it's hard in the moment to sometimes remember things that cool.
Completely blacked out. I just want to celebrate with the teammates, and then I see Greg kind of waving me down to the dog pound. I'm like, what am I going to do when we get there? So I was like, I'll just jump in, celebrate with the fans and with my teammates. And, it was blacked out a little bit, but I still remember it was a good experience.
Isn't it wild how binary this business is? And in your role in particular, it is literally the most, did you make it, did you not?
Yeah.
How do you kind of manage that?
I think I said it right after the game. The first thing I said when I got interviewed was like, that basically sums up the kicking position. You have a bad week one, you come back and you bounce back and we hit a game winner, 55 yards. It's like, it just goes with the position, and you just try to stay level-headed. I talked to a bunch of buddies around the league too, and they're like, hey, look, like we've all been in those situations where we miss those kicks and we have those bad games. It's like, but you just bounce back, you stay level-headed.
Nobody's been 100% for their career.
Yeah.
That's right.
You lean into faith, like kind of we talked about before a little bit, and just lean into faith and your trust and your process and what got you here. It'll continue to do good for you. So falling back to that after week one and being able to stay true to that really helped.
What did it mean to you after week one that they did stick with you? That was your first game actually kicking in the NFL, and they said, no, we've seen enough. We believe in you. And then even it would have been easy to say, oh, he's got a calf. Let's just –
yeah.
And they believed in you, and you certainly rewarded that belief.
Yeah, I was super blessed. That was the best feeling after the game, is like coming through for everybody who believed in me, coaches, staff, management. Like that's what felt good is they trusted me to be out there in that situation to get it done and to do it like feels great for them.
Did you take any of Sunday to go get yourself in the mix in the city and bask in the glow?
No, I just hung out with my dad and my sister, got dinner by my apartment, and like got ice cream.
Did anybody recognize you?
No.
No.
I saw Dylan, Carson, and Easton out at Mitchell's. So
Okay.
I got to see them, and we like hung out for a little bit. But yeah.
What's your go-to ice cream?
Between pistachio and wild berry crumble.
Okay, I got
best flavors.
Big banana cream pie guy. The banana cream pie, fantastic
try
at
it next
Mitchell's.
time,
Yeah, you will. Okay, so what a moment, right? You go through all that. Just it's such a cool thing. Are you a golfer?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so
not very good, but decent.
How similar? One of the things I try to equate it to, I was able to play, low-level college golf, but I'm a decent golfer, is the golf swing and all the mental aspects that go into a golf swing, and you're thinking about this. How similar is that to kicking from a field goal perspective, in the sense that, yes, you know your mechanics, yes, you know you've done it a billion times, and everybody can hit a good golf shot once. You have to do it repeatedly, but that you can start thinking about things. Oh, am I coming at it from the inside? Or I don't know, from a kicking standpoint, what you'd be thinking about. Or my plant leg is in this direction, blah, blah, blah. How do you balance like that mechanical feel versus just hitting the ball?
I think it's a huge like mental battle, the kicking position. There's a lot of doubt that creeps into your head, like whether it's the wind or the distance, and it may look farther than it does in practice. And that's all normal responses to just the stress and having to step up in those moments. But kind of learning how to deal with that and like keeping your tempo. Like that was kind of the issue week one, is just trying to rush it. And I felt slow like this week, but it was actually good tempo.
Yeah.
So that's how much you have to really slow it down. Like in those pressure moments, in those intense feeling moments, you really have to be like, hey, just stay smooth. And I think that's the same with like my golf swing. If you try to rush it, like you're screwed.
Yeah, that's right.
So like, hey, just stay smooth, like make good contact, and you give it a good shot at going in.
Just for people who may not understand your journey, and obviously we'll talk about the personal stuff at the end, but you're the Lou Groza Award winner in 2018. That's a long time ago. What was going on from the time that you left Syracuse? I know you kicked in the UFL, but kind of just how did you keep this dream alive and then get to the point where it's not just a dream anymore? This is your life.
Yeah. So out of college, I signed as an undrafted free agent to the Bears, and I was there all training camp, but didn't get any preseason. So I had no workouts all year. So I thought this very well could be done. Yeah. Luckily, I got an opportunity to play in the UFL, which was great for me. Because after that, I had a whole bunch of workouts all last year. So I felt like, hey, maybe, I've got myself kind of in the mix. Ended up having a workout here towards the end of last year,
right.
Signing to practice squad, clearly to come in to compete for I would sign to futures to come in and compete in the off season. So during that time when I got released from Chicago before playing in the UFL, it was tough because I didn't know if I was going to have another opportunity, and I didn't even think that it's not like, oh, I'm just going to do the UFL, and yeah, sure, they'll welcome me with open arms. They don't really know me either, so just blessed how everything works out in its weird ways, getting an opportunity there that led to here, and you just kind of stay with it. I knew and I trusted myself that I had the talent and to play in the NFL, but just kind of sticking with it. And a piece of me always knew it's okay, maybe it's not the time now, but I'll end up back there, I'll end up in the league. I don't know what it is, but it's just a feeling I've always had that this is my calling, this is what I'm meant to do. So I'm gonna give it everything I got and keep it alive.
And here it is. So you go through that year before the UFL calls. Are you just going and kicking at high school fields? How are you keeping yourself sharp so that because it's one thing to get called by UFL, it's another thing to take advantage of that and put yourself back on the map? Yeah,
so I was just training at high schools nearby. I would go out to California, train with my kicking coach John Carney out there.
John Carney,
yeah,
Saints
legend.
Yeah, Saints legend, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
So he's great too with the mental game and the mental approach to. He's played
he did it for a long time,
20+ seasons. Yeah, so he's been great, and same with keeping the dream alive with him. Going out there is hey Dre, you got this. Don't worry. Keep fighting. You'll get an opportunity. And I was basically gonna ride it till hey, you know what? No one's calling. I'll hang it out. But I never had that thought really cross my mind. It was just hey, you know what? I'll end up there sometime. Whenever the time is right. God will put me in the right situation at the right time. So
yeah, it worked out. You had a tremendous off season. Obviously, it was not when you think about, what D-Hop had done here in 2023, what a great guy he is, and, his contract and all that, like, it was an uphill battle for you. So you had to be decisively better. You were, and now here you sit, it really is kind of an incredible story. Now we go in and we layer on top of that everything you've had to deal with personally and the adversity with the loss of your mother, and so sorry for her passing. That's we all have moms. You wouldn't be on the planet without one, so
Right.
it's an unfathomable thing to even to think about. So how'd you deal with that, compartmentalize that, and know that, man, as you said afterwards, like, I'm finally living my dream. I'm doing what I was called to do, and the person you probably want to share it with the most is your mom.
Yeah, that's kind of like the story of how the season's been so far. I mean, it's only like coming up to week 4, but have a rough game week 1, I'd want to talk to my mom. She'd be like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, just keep going.
Were you a mama's boy growing up?
Yeah, he was mama's boy. Yeah. Everybody who knows me knows that too.
Yeah.
But it's just like you don't have that one person to go to. So it almost feels like it's like a dream with everything that's happened. It was so like sudden, unexpected too. Like a week before training camp, and then going through training camp, just like feels like you're just kind of going through the motions, just like. And then now it's like you win the job, and then you're playing in games, and it just feels like everything, like life's moving faster than like you can like process it really. So I feel like it's just trying to like stay in the moment, kind of like grasp what's really going on. I don't think I'll really be able to like look back and reflect till after the season. I mentioned this before, but just trying to like live in the present really, and not think about the past too much, not think about the future. Know that my mom is there in some capacity. I know she's helping me and watching, and she's super proud. So like I said earlier, like leaning into faith too, like knowing she's there, she's in a good spot, and like she's watching over me, and I know she's giving me strength.
In those situations, like it's got to be somewhat to your point, kind of having not the distraction, but having the need to like be fully immersed in something else is probably a helpful thing at times.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's helpful. It was really helpful in camp and stuff because we had such long days, and we were like 7 to 7, like go home, go to bed, and then wake up and do it all over again 6 days a week. So like going through that was nice, and then now it's like the ups and downs of like the season and playing. I mean, that was just practice. So like now playing is like, you want your mom at the games, you want to talk to her after. So it's a new avenue that I'm trying to like manage, but we'll get.
You mentioned your dad and your sister were able to be there, which is great.
I have huge support with family and stuff, and my girlfriend has come to every game. She's coming this week.
And where is she?
New York.
In New York.
Yeah,
okay.
So she's gonna make the drive. She's gonna fly down, make the drive to Detroit and stuff, and be here all weekend. So it'll be good for my birthday.
Awesome. When's your birthday?
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
How about? Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How old are you?
27. Gonna be 27.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. That was me 20 years ago, unfortunately for me, but great for you. Happy for you to only be 27. Yeah, fantastic. All right, we'll end on a little bit of a question that popped into my head. I wanted to ask you. It's a little bit more on a lighter-hearted question. Have you kicked more footballs in your life, or have you been asked how to say your last name more in your life?
Probably pretty close.
Probably pretty close.
No,
and that's
definitely more football.
I mean, I would imagine most people say they're like, huh?
Yeah, I think it's kind of confusing for a lot of people. I don't think some people even say it right to this day or spell it right.
Let's say it. How do you?
Schmidt.
Schmidt.
Easy. SZ makes just a sh sound, and then MYT.
Like Mike Schmidt of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. What's the etymology? What's your
it's like a
background?
Polish spelling, but it's like Austria-Hungary.
Okay. A little Eastern European.
Yeah, Eastern European, yeah.
Perfect for Cleveland, right?
Exactly,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Exactly.
Polish, good pierogies. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Andre, absolute pleasure. Could not be happier for you. And obviously, just to see you take advantage of this opportunity to have adversity when you've already had more than enough adversity, and to come back from it the way you did it's awesome. It's inspiring, and we're happy you're kicking the ball for the Cleveland Browns.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, I lied. We couldn't get out of here on this one because we've got breaking news. You have just won the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. How about it?
Yeah.
How about that?
It's pretty incredible. It feels good. Yeah.
I bet it feels good.
Yeah.
Well, like George Costanza then, on that note, we're going to go out on a high note. We'll be back with more Cleveland Browns Daily right after this.